Hello there, lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news today, the 6th of November in the year 2025. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. Bed space shortage at adult hospital temporarily. UTH. Advocates demand presidential leadership on tobacco control bill. Lusaka City Council suspends ZIYANG manufacturing over public health violations. In international news, Tanzanian elections did not meet international democratic standards, says the African Union. And in sports, Zambia under-17 coach MAKINKA warns of tough Honduras test ahead of FIFA World Cup match. Join me for these and many more stories after a break.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Camnet TV main news now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kenstream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. The University Teaching Hospital, UTH Adult Hospital, has assured the public of its continued commitment providing quality health care despite a temporal shortage of bed space that has led to a shared accommodation of male and female patients in some wards. Management says the arrangement is a short-term measure aimed at ensuring no patient in need of medical care is turned away. UTH Public Relations Officer Muiza Muya clarified that the mixed accommodation is not a standard practice but an exceptional step taken when male wards are fully occupied. She explained that the hospital has recently seen a surge in male surgical cases, many resulting from road traffic accidents, falls at construction sites, and prostate-related complications. Ms. Muya said that whenever male patients are temporarily placed in female wards, strict measures are followed to ensure privacy and dignity. The affected patients are accommodated in separate cubicles with dedicated sanitary facilities and constant supervision by medical staff. She emphasized that such arrangements are temporarily and patients are relocated to male designated wards as soon as space becomes available. To address the imbalance, UTH is implementing corrective measures, including plans to convert one of the female surgical wards into a male ward. The Lusaka City Council LCC has ordered ZIYANG Manufacturing Company Limited to implement corrective public health measures before it can resume operations following serious violations observed at its premises. The directive comes after a recent suspension of the company's operations due to multiple breaches of council regulations. LCC Public Relations Manager Chola Mwamba says a spot inspection conducted by LCC revealed alarming conditions, including workers being locked inside the factory during working hours and forced to use buckets as toilets. She says the inspection also uncovered open defecation in incomplete structures, indiscriminate disposal of waste, discharge of effluent into the open environment, and inadequate ventilation throughout the facility. The corrective measures outlined by the council require the company to ensure proper sanitation around the premises, construct adequate sanitary facilities for both male and female workers, and remove the buckets that had been used as toilets.
The Lusaka City Council wishes to inform the general public that it has directed ZIYANG Manufacturing Company Limited to implement corrective public health measures for it to be allowed to resume operations following serious violations of the council regulations observed at its premises. This directive follows a recent suspension of operations at ZIYANG Manufacturing Company Limited by the local authority due to multiple public health violations. The corrective measures include ensuring proper sanitation around the premises, construction of adequate sanitary facilities for both male and female workers, and removal of buckets that were being used as toilets, as these do not meet the sanitary standards prescribed under the public health regulations. The Lusaka City Council remains committed to conducting regular and comprehensive inspections to ensure that all business operations within Lusaka comply with the public health standards and contribute to a clean, safe and healthy environment for all.
The Tobacco Control Consortium of Zambia has called on President Hakainde Hichilema to show decisive leadership by ensuring the immediate passage of the long-delayed Tobacco Control Bill. The consortium, together with the Zambia Non-Communicable Diseases Alliance, says the bill has been stuck for nearly 3 years despite Cabinet's approval in principle in 2023. Consortium chairperson Albert Piri said the delay has become a wound on the nation's soul, causing the government of betraying its public health commitment. He said thousands of Zambians continue to die each year from preventable tobacco-related illnesses while the bill gathers dust in bureaucratic offices. Meanwhile, chairperson of the Zambia NCD Alliance, Professor Feston Goma, questioned the inclusion of people linked to the tobacco industry in Zambia's delegation to the upcoming World Health Organization Tobacco Control Conference in Geneva. Both organizations urged the government to remove industry-linked officials from the delegation, commit publicly to passing the bill, and prioritize the health of citizens over corporate interests.
Will tobacco control legislation continue to be overlooked while our hospitals overflow with patients suffering from tobacco-induced diseases? Mr. President, we call upon you to publicly state your position on the 2025 Tobacco Control Bill for the sake of the health of Zambia's children, our children, your children, Mr. President. We appeal to you to expedite its passage, to treat it with the same urgency and clarity you have shown on other legislative matters. Where do you stand, Mr. President, on the 2025 Tobacco Control Bill? Where do you stand? What is needed now is decisive leadership.
If the government has excess money as can sponsor 18 people to Geneva to stay there for a week, let this money be given to the health sector. Right now, we are in deep trouble. The health sector needs every way that we have. And sponsoring 18 people to Geneva, and you know Geneva is not a cheap city. Exactly. For them to be there for 1 week, doing nothing, when our health sector is in such dire need, is not responsibility.
The Ministry of Education has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring that all schools across the country are adequately staffed, with particular focus on undeserved districts such as Chama and Lundazi. The assurance comes amid growing concerns about teacher shortages in rural areas that have affected the quality of education delivery. Minister of Education Permanent Secretary for Administration Norian Muneku said the government will not tolerate a situation where schools continue to operate with inadequate teaching staff. She made the remarks during separate courtesy calls on Chama District Education Board Secretary Kwabaniso Nglovu and Undazi Debs Iridi Piri. Ms. Muneku said her office is determined to deploy teachers to schools facing shortages and urged those assigned to rural areas not to abandon their posts.
You do recruitment. The figures that you have are not real for Chama. Because some teachers are drawing salaries from Chama but
they've gone
providing services here. So that's one.
Would you, I would want to have that kind of information as well. I don't know how you can give it.
Very quick.
Yes, give me that information, those that are sitting on your payment IDs, and then there's elsewhere. Let's see how we can do it. And then give me the schools that where you need teachers. And if it's primary, that's a bit easy. Okay. Secondary becomes a bit difficult if you are now talking about the actual subjects and maybe I don't have them.
Exactly.
But even in secondary schools, if they are, give me.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Madam, that is very okay.
Please do.
You know, our teachers, they are very dedicated. The government has already put across a very good policy.
I know.
Free education, the learners go to school, but they can't be attended.
Programs, but
we are very okay. We have Mary's Meals, we have WFP. We are comfortable there.
All right. No, give me those. I'll help
comfortable
you.
there.
Desks, you are comfortable.
Yeah, just a little more, but otherwise under CDF a lot has already gone there.
The Resident Doctors Association of Zambia, RDAZ, has commended government for approving long-awaited structural reforms at Levi Mwanawasa University Teaching Hospital. The decision made through Cabinet has been described as a significant milestone in aligning the institutional structure with its mandate as a national referral and teaching hospital. RDAZ says the reforms mark a decisive step toward improving efficiency, accountability, and the overall quality of healthcare delivery. RDAZ President Dr. Paul Chiwe says the hospital has grown tremendously since opening in 2011 as LUSAKA General Hospital with 150 bed capacity to its current status as a 1,000 bed tertiary institution serving over 3 million people. However, he noted that despite this growth, Levi Mwanawasa University Teaching Hospital has been hampered by an outdated administrative framework that left many medical professionals working under irregular conditions, drawing salaries from their former stations while serving full-time at Levi Mwanawasa University Teaching Hospital.
I think this is to speak to the issue that Levi Mwanawasa Hospital has faced, past few years, from being LUSAKA General Hospital to being Levi Mwanawasa Hospital, and staff coming from across the country, sitting on wrong positions. Some of them drawing salaries from the previous stations. So these workers have upheld the standard. Specialization standards of Levi Mwanawasa Hospital, ensuring that patients receive quality and specialized health care, receiving referrals from various downwards health facilities. Management on the other end, with various stakeholders, have been requesting government to upgrade this hospital to what it deserves, which is a teaching hospital. We've had documents to speak to Cabinet approving the upgrade to Levi Mwanawasa being now a teaching hospital, and this is coming with proposed 422 positions. What we want to, as an association, to see, first of all, we commend government for this response, because it's going to sort out a lot of issues, among them the issue of audit queries in terms of staffing, and also just improve the morale of these workers that have been working despite sitting on lower positions, and some of them having people from other facilities previously where they were sitting.
Governance expert and human rights advocate Wesley Miyanda has commended the Ministry of Labour and Social Security for reaffirming its commitment to protecting workers' rights through strict enforcement of the Employment Code Act number 3 of 2009. Mr. Mianda said the ministry stance comes at a crucial time when some employers in the private sector have been dismissing workers without following proper grievance procedures. He notes that the Ministry of Labour has a full mandate under the law to shield employees from unfair labour practices and poor working conditions. Mr. Mianda emphasized that safeguarding workers' rights remains central to government's goal of promoting decent work and industrial harmony across the country.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security deserves accolades for restating its position to protecting workers' rights by ensuring total compliance with the Employment Code Act number 3 of 2019. This is in view of numerous concerns that some employers in the private sector especially are dismissing their employees without following the prescribed grievance procedures. By law, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security has a full mandate to protect workers from unfair labour practices and conditions, which is a cornerstone of the government's agenda to promote decent work and industrial harmony in the country. Our Zambian employees have for a long time been and still are going through a lot of hardships at their places of work, such as instant dismissals, non-payment of overtime, transport and lunch allowances, and general mistreatments. It is indeed high time government through the Ministry of Labour practically, not by word of mouth, intensified measures to promote fair labour practices and compliance with the Zambian labour laws. We are somehow delighted that in the recent past, our Labour Commissioner has been seen stepping out to carry out some workplace inspections, including examining records, interviewing some employees, and also ensuring adherence to legal standards. Such random inspections are critical in safeguarding workers from unfair dismissals or any form of mistreatments and unsafe working conditions.
Government has commenced 2 water supply projects in Zambezi and Kabompo districts aimed at improving access to clean and safe water for more than 1,600 residents under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. The initiative is being implemented by the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Minister of Water Development and Sanitation Engineer Collins Nzovu said the projects will be carried out by the Northwestern Water Supply and Sanitation Company Limited and financed through the 2025 CDF allocations for Zambezi East and Kabompo constituencies. He said the Kabompo project, valued at 793,000 kwacha, will expand water supply network to Chikata, Farm Training Center, Indeko and M8 townships, serving over 1,000 people in the medium term. In Zambezi district, phase 1 of the project will involve constructing a new water supply line from New Market compound to Masumpu village at a cost of 564,800 kwacha. This development is expected to connect 100 new customers and benefit about 600 residents once completed.
The Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, has commenced the implementation of 2 water supply projects in Zambezi and Kabompo districts under the Constituency Development Fund. Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, Honorable Engineer Collins Nzovu, announced that the 2 projects to be implemented by Northwestern Water Supply and Sanitation Company, funded through the Zambezi and Kabompo Town Councils under the 2025 Constituency Development Fund allocations for Zambezi East and Kabompo constituencies, respectively. The Kabompo project, valued at 793,000 kwacha, will focus on expanding the supply network in Chikata. That is also the Farm Training Center, Indeco, and M8 townships. Each township will receive a 1 kilometer water distribution network, initially serving about 40 customers, with the target to reach over 100 customers in the medium term, ultimately benefiting more than 1,000 residents. In Zambezi district, the project will involve the construction of a new water supply line from New Market Compound to Masumpa village at a cost of about over 500,000 kwacha under the phase 1. This development will add 100 new customers and benefit approximately 600 people.
Disease-free cassava seed marketing program under the Center for Agriculture and Biosciences International CABI project in Kabompo district. Speaking during the cassava seed marketing and field day held at Kamafuafua Agriculture Camp, Principal Agricultural Officer for Northwestern Province, Simbarashe Mobambwe, reaffirmed the government's commitment alongside its partners to transforming agriculture into a resilient, profitable, and sustainable enterprise for all farmers. Mr. Mubambwe noted that 53 train-certified cassava seed growers have been identified in Kabompo district to help mitigate the spread of cassava brown streak disease, a major threat to cassava production in the province. And Center for Agriculture and Biosciences International Regional Director for Southern Africa, Dr. Natasha Mwila, said the program aims to promote crop diversification and expand agribusiness opportunities within the cassava value chain. Nais filed in this report.
It's a joyous moment for 53 farmers in Kabompo district who have graduated as certified cassava seed growers. These growers are now licensed to produce and sell the high-quality, disease-free Mwelu cassava variety to other farmers across the province. The project is supported by the Center for Agriculture and Biosciences International CABI in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture. The program promotes the use of certified cassava seed while strengthening the cassava value chain among smallholder farmers in Northwestern Province. Officiating at the cassava seed marketing and field day at Kamafuafua Agriculture Camp in Kabompo, Principal Agricultural Officer for Northwestern Province, Simbarashe Mubambwe, says the 53 certified growers will help curb cassava brown streak disease.
So with coming up with the CABI and our partnership through the Department of Agriculture, that is using our extension officers, and also with ZARI, which has also been working with CABI, ensuring that normal practices are followed in terms of seed production. So we are here and we are happy that the program has been a success, and the 53 farmers have been awarded certificate, and their seed has been certified fit to be supplied on the market.
And CABI Regional Director for Southern Africa, Dr. Natasha Mwila, says the project promotes crop diversification and growth in cassava agribusiness.
The objective of this whole program, particularly in relation to this cassava seed flagship launch that we've just had today, fits actually into a bigger program within CABI, which is trying to promote agribusiness among the smallholder farmers in the various countries where we are operating in. So for Zambia also, in a similar line, is to try and help that farmers, as they try to look for business opportunities, I think having seed is one of the key business activities that they would be engaged in. But importantly also is the aspect of insect pests and diseases.
For the farmers, including horse seed grower Lilian Katonda, producing certified cassava seed will improve yields and household incomes.
Much appreciated to the CAB group and even the government, because they have given me knowledge and they have also given us seed to start with, or capital, let me say in short.
Kabompo District Agriculture Coordinator Peter Chibizwa also commended the initiative for empowering the local farmers.
Today is your day, and your commitment to quality seed production is the foundation of our food security and economic resilience. This ceremony not only recognizes excellence through certification, but also launches a new chapter in cassava seed commercialization.
Mutanda Agriculture Research Institute and LUSAKA are among the institutions supporting the program.
We were training farmers here in Kabompo, about 105 farmers who were involved in the KABI program.
I would like also to thank KABI for having sourced the planting material from LUSAKA.
Clifford Tuta, reporting in Kabompo District, Northwestern Province.
Government through the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, has purchased 90% of the 192,145.50 metric tons of grade A white maize purchased in Central Province during the 2024 to 2025 crop marketing season. Addressing the media today, Principal Public Relations Officer Tobias Piri says government has put in measures to ensure that no single grain goes to waste before the onset of the rains and that the mopping process in some districts has reached 97%. Mr. Piri has further disclosed that 64,605 farmers have so far redeemed their inputs out of the 92,476 farmers who deposited their farmer contribution during the 2025-2026 Farmer Input Support Program. Mr. Piri has advised farmers in the province to redeem their inputs from accredited dealers promptly and warned against selling of their redeemed inputs.
Government through the Food Reserve Agency FRA has secured 90% of the 192,145.50 metric tons of grade A white maize purchased in Central Province during the 2024-2025 crop marketing season. Addressing the media today, Principal Public Relations Officer Tobias Piri says government has put in measures to ensure that no single grain goes to waste before the onset of the rains and that the mopping process in some districts has reached 97%.
Government through the Food Reserve Agency has secured over 90% of the 192,145 metric tons of the maize that was bought in Central Province. This is the grade A white maize purchased in Central Province during the 2024-2025 marketing season. In some districts, I should mention, the mopping exercise has reached up to 97%, but the aggregate for the province stands at 90% as at today, Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. The mopping exercise of the maize from the FRA depots into depots is non-negotiable, and no single grain should go to waste, no matter what, even if the rains started today.
Mr. Piri has further disclosed that 64,605 farmers has so far redeemed their inputs out of the 92,476 farmers who deposited their farmer contribution during the 2025-2026 Farmer Input Support Program.
Out of the 92,476 farmers who deposited to redeem their fertilizer and seeds under the Farmer Input Support Program, 64,605 farmers have so far redeemed their inputs, representing a total of 69%. Farmers are advised to redeem their inputs from accredited dealers promptly so as to adequately prepare for the 2025-2026 farming season, and they are also advised against selling their redeemed inputs, as this is a prosecutable offense.
I'm Sheila Mumbi, reporting for Nais in Kabwe.
And that report from Nais in Central Province takes us to our first set of commercials. But do join us for international and sports news when we come back. Please do stay tuned.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbanda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still joining us on the Camden News Desk. And now in international news. The African Union AU Observer Mission has concluded that Tanzania's recent elections marred by violence and irregularities did not meet international democratic standards. In its preliminary statement released on Wednesday, the mission reported witnessing serious electoral malpractices, including the issuing of multiple ballot papers to individual voters and ballot box stuffing. It also noted that several of its observers were expelled from polling stations before the vote counting was completed, while the media and civil society groups faced restrictions in the lead-up to the polls. The AU further criticized the government shutdown of the internet on election day and in the days that followed, saying the move compromised the transparency and credibility of the electoral process. Here's a roundup of international news, courtesy of Africa News.
The African Union Observer Mission to Tanzania's recent violence-marred elections says they failed to meet international democratic standards. In a statement on Wednesday, the continental body says monitors saw voters being issued with multiple ballot papers and the stuffing of ballot boxes. Several members of its monitoring mission were asked to leave polling stations, it says, before the counting process was concluded. It adds that restrictions were also imposed on media outlets in the run-up to the election, while civil rights groups were hindered from educating voters. A shutdown of the internet on election day and afterwards also compromised the integrity of the poll. The government says the election was fair and transparent. President Samia Suluhu Hassan was declared the landslide winner of the disputed 29th of October vote that triggered deadly protests. Opponents accused the government of fraud and there were demonstrations over the exclusion of her main challengers. Opposition party Chadema, which was barred from participating in the election, says it's documented hundreds of deaths in the protests. The AU mission has called for urgent constitutional and electoral reforms in Tanzania. Its damning report comes just days after its commission chairperson, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, congratulated her son on her victory. Activists from several environmental organizations protesting in the Brazilian city of Belém on the Amazon River. Ahead of the 30th edition of the annual United Nations Climate Change Summit, they're highlighting slow progress, saying the clock is ticking for the planet. They're calling on delegates to COP30, which gets underway in the city in a few days' time, to take greater action to combat climate change. What's happening in the world when we think of climate change? It seems that people are not realizing the urgency. Global leaders are taking such small steps like they're sleeping and not seeing what's happening. So we thought, that's it. They're taking a nap and we need to rush, wake up. We need these people to wake up to the urgency of the climate crisis. For the past 30 years, world leaders and diplomats have gathered at United Nations negotiating sessions to try to curb climate change, yet the Earth's temperature continues to rise and extreme weather worsens. So activists are hoping for fewer promises and more action when the main summit gets underway on Monday. The protests come as dozens of world leaders, including from Africa, meet in Belém ahead of the gathering, hoping to advance progress. But missing from the lineup are the leaders of 4 of the world's 5 most polluting economies: China, the United States, India and Russia.
The Beaver supermoon lit the skies over Senegal's capital Dakar Wednesday night. The moon's orbit around the Earth isn't a perfect circle, so it gets nearer and farther as it swings around. A so-called supermoon happens when a full moon is closer to Earth in its orbit. That makes the moon look up to 14% bigger and 30% brighter than the faintest moon of the year, according to NASA. November's supermoon is the second of 3 supermoons this year and also the closest. The moon will come within just under 222,000 miles of Earth. Supermoons happen a few times a year, larger, and another in December will be the last of the year.
And finally, in sports news this evening, Zambia's under-17 boys national team is gearing up for a tough match against Honduras on Friday, with coach Dennis Makinka warning that the game won't be easy. After a 3-1 win over Indonesia, Zambia currently sits second in Group H with 3 points, tied with Brazil. Makinka emphasized the need for careful planning and mental preparation against Honduras, who are coming off a 7-0 loss to Brazil. He anticipates a difficult game, adding that a team that is coming from a loss is very dangerous. However, he believes Zambia's high morale and preparation will give them an edge. Makinka said the technical team has been psyching the boys, focusing on mental and psychological aspects. Midfielder Ntasilwe Malupande echoed this sentiment, saying the players are focused on the match and recognize its importance. Malupande said the boys need to take every game seriously. He emphasized that this is a chance for players to showcase Zambia's abilities to the World Cup. We can only wish the young Chipolo all the best as they take on Honduras tomorrow. And that sporting item brings us to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, we'll take a quick recap of stories that made headlines. Bed space shortage at adult hospital TEMPORALY-UTH. Advocates demand presidential leadership on tobacco control bill. Lusaka City Council suspends ZIYANG manufacturing over public health violations. Tanzania elections did not meet international democratic standards, says AU. Zambia under-17 coach Makinka warns of tough Honduras taste ahead of FIFA World Cup match. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 29. It reads, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers." We end the Bible reading and we end the main news on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, like always, do remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kenstream app. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening and God bless.